All right, Marion County Raceway is back up for sale. It is now currently called the Triple F Raceway, and this is the story of how a group of YouTubers in the supercar segment pissed off an entire community of drag racers, and rightfully so. They were, enraged, and I think rightfully so. They carry that rage to currently because they bought and ruined an operational drag strip. Now, I have no ill will towards Triple F collection. I don't know them. I don't really know anything about them besides this one story. I know that they do supercar stuff. I know that they have outside money of the tune of multiple billions potentially, and they just don't care. They have Bugattis, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. They're not drag racers. They're not in the drag racing community. But again, they are not my enemy. There's a rule about making someone else's enemy your enemy. I just know that they ruined this drag strip. That is indisputable facts. And you can see that because, well, let's just go into this story. So, little history on the drag strip. MCIR, Marion County International Raceway, was opened in 71 and then finally closed in 2022 after the Triple F collection had bought it and turned it into Triple F Raceway. And now they originally purchased it with some goals of, sounded like they wanted to turn it into their own, like a half private, half public raceway. They wanted to fix it up, and none of that happened. So it is located pretty centrally between Columbus and Toledo, about an hour north of Columbus, about an hour south of Toledo. So pretty Toledo, I don't know. I'm not from Ohio, but pretty centrally located as far as markets go. They were in an awesome spot. There's a ton of drag racing, especially for a track like this that was kind of like backwoods. They did prep racing, but they were like no prep, and they were super open to that kind of racing, which is exactly what most drag racers want, and they did an awesome job at that from my understanding. Now, the track was pretty large. It had a 3-story tower, 4,000 seats, the longest shutdown in Ohio, 2,600 feet, 450 racers they could host there. Like, it was a legitimate facility, super nice. It was purchased by a different group of people in 2019, and as they started to renovate it, they put in new lights, they put in new timing system, revamped it, changed up a bunch of stuff, and it was ready to go. And they did a few events, and unfortunately, as many of you know that lived through the last 8 years, COVID hit, and that, I would imagine, took a lot of the wind out of their sails. And they posted that they were looking to sell it in 2021 for the tune of, I don't know, almost $700,000. It says $690,000 in 2021. And then in 2022, it was sold to the Triple F collection people. And that is when things started to sour with the community. Now, it was a nice facility. The tower looked nice. It was all cement block tower. Like, it was solid deal. So Jordan Fraka, whatever it is, from the Triple F collection, purchased it, and then the changes ensued. The goal quickly turned into a private playground for his personal race cars. Now, I'm not inherently against that. Live it up, use your money how you want. But when you take a racetrack that is operating and you that's where it kind of gets questionable. Was it gonna just shut down and not be for sale, or did he outbid it from someone else? Was there other interested parties and he won the bidding and bought it, and they hoped that he would resurrect it and do more races? Or was he the only interested party, purchased it, and the rest is history? Hard to know. Sure, there was other interested parties, maybe at a lower price. They are competing with a legitimate billionaire here. I mean, when you have cars that cost $2 million, spending $700,000 on a racetrack that is on 36 acres isn't really a huge, issue, I would imagine, for someone like that. So, did he swipe it out from under people? Did he not? Hard to say. But if he did, then that really sucks, because you did genuinely take it from the community, and now it sits empty, and it has for the last 4-ish years. No one's used it besides them, and they have changed it a lot. So when they went in, they took the bleachers out, they took the timing system out, they tore down the tower, and then they repaved the track, which is odd. All of that sounds odd. That doesn't sound like public racetrack energy to me. You don't get rid of the bleachers if you think you're going to have a public racetrack. It just makes sense. They even posted on the Facebook, so they took the Facebook page and changed it to Triple F Raceway, so now that is gone, which is almost an extra insult to injury in my opinion, because you could have made a new page and left that page to just kind of like wither away, but to change the name of the page when you have all of these fans that follow it that have raced there, and now you're just showing the upgrades that are for your private facility, does seem like salt on a wound, right? I mean, why bother flaunting it in the face of the people that are no longer going to get to use it? Unless that wasn't the plan until recently, but it all feels wrong on that side of things. So this is the post on the Triple F Raceway Facebook that was kind of the announcing of them purchasing it. So good evening, everyone. We, the Triple F Collection, have purchased MCIR. We worked with the previous owners, Kevin and Katie, very closely for several months. They're great people with a passion for drag racing. Unfortunately, they had to move on to a different opportunity. There just wasn't enough coming in to justify what they were putting into it. We are currently working on plans to upgrade the facility's pavement and timing system at this time. It is not known if it will be open to the public or private. We have attorneys and insurance working through liabilities and potential issues. We understand most of you feel a certain way about it, have created many great memories. This drag strip is essentially inoperable at this time. Continuing business as usual would mean putting lives at risk. A lot of work needs to be done to make it acceptable, and it's just not a good business investment to do so with the revenue. This is a passion for us. We will document the demo and rebuild and upgrades on our YouTube channel, along with giving updates here. We know there is disappointment, but know that this drag strip was headed towards abandonment and would have been an afterthought in a short time. We're going to do some work, and we hope you follow along as we do. Please let us know how you feel or ask questions in the comments, and we will try and get to everyone. Now, you can imagine how everyone felt in the comments. This was April 22nd, 2022, and like they said, it was going to be an afterthought. It was going to be abandoned. I don't know. That's just what the new owner said. Hard to really say. Kevin and Katie would probably be able to answer that. They were the ones that were running it when Triple F came in and took it over. Also, I mean, if you said you were working with them for a few months, you know all of those issues. So why wouldn't you have figured that out before you purchased it, whether it could be open to the public or private? And again, this was posted on the official Facebook page of the drag strip as it was changed to Triple F Raceway. So again, insult to injury. Kinda hurts. There was some heated comments, if you can. So one person 2 years ago said, "Lives at risk. WTF are you talking about? This is a drag strip and everyone knows the danger of racing. You do improvements to that track and it will be too fast. The best part about that track was how sketchy it is." Questionable. I've never been there, but sketchy tracks are sketchy. People will go fast on them. That place is perfect track to race at, and changing it is an awful decision. Good luck to you, but grow some balls and effing send cars down the track. Didn't realize the new owners were too scared to actually race. Then they replied, "LOL, really? Sorry, but there is more to life than getting down the track. We have kids, families, other obligations, and the track is in bad shape and is in no shape to race safe. If you want to race unsafe, go do it somewhere else." And there was a little bit more back and forth, but it just seems, odd. Again, I saw videos of them racing and using the track in like up to the moment they bought it, and it did not seem that bad, honestly. Yes, the guardrails were a little sketchy. They were like street style guardrails, the metal ones. They weren't concrete sides or anything like that, but it had them. They upgraded the lights. It had a really long shutdown. It was concrete for the first couple of 100 feet. And yeah, and now it's not. I'll show before and after pictures. Now it's just a straight up runway. They took all of the guardrails down. There is no new sides. There's nothing like that. It does appear that they repaved the entire track. They put new asphalt all the way down. They put new concrete. So now the first 150 feet is new concrete, and or 100 plus ish feet is new concrete, and then the rest of the track is new asphalt, and then somewhere into the shutdown becomes old asphalt again. But it looks like a nice surface. It looks like it's usable from these pictures. I don't know what it looks like currently, but the questionable part keeps falling back to, why tear down all these buildings? Why tear down the tower? Why get rid of the bleachers? Why sell this place for parts when you could have just left all that stuff? I get it. I mean, they're business people. They probably saw the bleachers were worth money, but why tear down the tower? Tearing something down doesn't make you any money. They even repaved the entrance road. They even repaved the staging lanes. Like, it's pretty nice. But then they did backhanded stuff like tear down the tower. And all of this they were posting about on that Dragstrip's Facebook page, now with a name change. They're like adding insult to injury. This is not just posting on their YouTube channel, which has, 90 some odd thousand followers, I believe, but they are posting this on the actual page. And interestingly enough, their website is shut down. It's private, the Triple F collection, and they haven't posted on the Facebook page since 2022. Where are they at on YouTube? I believe they had a large channel, 504,000 subscribers. They were a very large channel, and now they just don't post anything. I don't know when the last time they were showing the track or using the track, but they haven't posted in, they took quite some time off and then popped back up. Interesting. I don't know. They did post about tearing the track down. They did show the whole thing. It was never hidden. It was never like secret, but they used it. I mean, they were using it last year. They were still filming videos at the track and off-roading in the dirt area. They were using it. And unfortunately, now they don't get that same stuff. Oh, there's some videos with Roman Atwood on here. Yeah, I'm looking at some videos on their channel of them racing a Bugatti on the track, and Roman's chasing them in a helicopter. Normal YouTube stuff. But let's get back on track here. So now the track's back up for sale. But like I said, it is missing all of those key components. Timing system, tree, tower, bleachers. But it does have new upgrades like the surface and all that good stuff. And unfortunately, the listing does not say how much money it's for sale for, but I would hope or assume it's less than the purchase price of $700,000, but it's probably more. I'm sure they put a ton of money into that, doing the surface and making it right. But again, they did everything wrong at the same time. Hopefully somebody comes back in and buys it because it's in a great spot. It needs to be reopened, in my opinion, because all drag strips need to be saved. Obviously, I'm nowhere near Ohio, so I have no desire to be in Ohio or buy a track in Ohio, so don't even get me involved in any of that. People start saying, buy the track. I'm not buying any tracks. Maybe like somebody like a SRC Street Race channel could try to put something together. They're well connected up that way. I would love to see another YouTuber buy this, I guess you could say. The last YouTubers were not the right people to buy it. not drag racers, supercar people, not the right people to get involved in it. But who knows? Maybe we'll hear some more to the story. Maybe there's a reason they got rid of it. Maybe it was going to die. Maybe IHRA will bust out their wallet again because they have a very deep wallet and purchase it, and it can live on again. Unfortunately, at the moment, it just sits. But let me know what you guys think. This was a interesting one to go down. I love doing these videos because I get to research all this fun stuff and learn about all these things, and maybe there's plenty that I missed, but if you guys like this kind of stuff, please hit the subscribe button because I like doing it and I can't do it without you guys hitting that subscribe button and that like button. Share it with a friend. If I missed any information, leave it in the comments and I'll pin it, but I will see you guys next time.